Trusting Allah doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It means putting in your best effort, doing what is within your control, and then handing over the results to the Almighty. Real trust begins when you've done your part and still choose peace in your heart, knowing that what Allah decides will always be better than what you desired. Many people say, "I trust Allah." But the moment things don't go their way, they begin to doubt. True trust means believing that Allah's plan is not only wiser but also perfectly timed. Sometimes He delays to strengthen you. Sometimes He withholds to protect you. And sometimes He gives you something different to teach you that His mercy is far greater than your wish. That is the essence of trust, to know that Allah never abandons those who put their faith in Him. Trusting Allah is one of the most beautiful yet challenging aspects of faith. It begins with understanding what trust truly means. Many people confuse trust with inaction, thinking that if they trust Allah, they don't have to make an effort. But that's not trust, that's neglect. True trust is when you do everything in your capacity. You plan, you try, you strive, and once you've done all that you can, you leave the outcome entirely to Allah with full confidence that whatever happens will be the best for you. It is the peace that comes after effort, the calm after struggle, the surrender after trying. It's saying from your heart, "Oh Allah, I've done what I could. Now I leave it to you." That is the essence of real tawakkul. Think of the farmer who plants his seeds. He waters them, takes care of the soil, removes weeds, and does everything possible. But when it comes to rain, sunlight, and growth, he can do nothing but wait. That's what trusting Allah looks like in our lives. You work hard, make decisions, and put in your energy. But in the end, you rely on Allah for the results, because you understand that He controls the unseen, the factors beyond your reach. You recognize there is a greater wisdom behind every delay and every detour. Trusting Allah doesn't mean you won't be tested. It means you'll stay firm even when the test comes, because you know that the one who sent it also holds the solution. Sometimes trusting Allah means walking through darkness while believing that there's light ahead even when you can't see it yet. It's that quiet conviction in your heart that no matter how painful or confusing things appear, Allah is still in charge. It's when you don't panic even if the world turns against you, because you believe that your life is in the safest hands possible. And even when you face losses of people, wealth, or opportunities, your heart whispers, "If Allah took it away, then there must be a reason." That is trust. It's also important to remember that trust is built through knowledge. When you know who Allah is, His mercy, His power, His wisdom, His justice, it becomes easier to trust Him. You realize that the one who never forgets a single soul, who feeds every creature, who manages every detail of the universe, will never neglect your affairs. You may forget Him sometimes, but He never forgets you. So every time life feels uncertain, remind yourself that trusting Allah is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It's choosing serenity over stress and faith over fear. When your heart learns to rely on Him completely, you will find peace that the world cannot give or take away. Because the one who truly trusts Allah is never alone. He walks with the assurance that his Lord is always by his side. When you understand why you must trust Allah, your heart finds peace even in chaos. The greatest reason to place your trust in Him is because His knowledge is perfect, infinite, complete, and free from error. We as human beings see life through limited eyes. We only see what's in front of us, but Allah sees the past, the present, and the future all at once. What seems like a loss to you today might be a rescue from something harmful tomorrow. What feels like a delay might be the perfect timing in His plan. So when something doesn't go your way, it's not that Allah has ignored your prayer, it's that He's protecting you in ways you cannot comprehend yet. You may have planned something and prayed for it sincerely, but it didn't happen. You feel disappointed, you feel lost. Allah says in the Quran that perhaps you dislike something which is good for you, and perhaps you love something which is bad for you. And Allah knows, while you do not know. That single verse explains the foundation of trust. It reminds us that our understanding is limited, but Allah's wisdom is limitless. He sees what we don't. He hears what we cannot. And He knows what is best for us in ways our hearts might not understand now, but will one day be grateful for. There are countless examples in life where we later realize how a closed door was actually a blessing. The job you didn't get, the relationship that didn't work out, the dream that seemed shattered. All of them might have led you away from peace, faith, or growth. When Allah removes something from your path, He's not punishing you. He's redirecting you. It's like a parent pulling a child away from danger even when the child doesn't understand why. Similarly, Allah's plan is always rooted in mercy and love. He wants the best for you even when it comes through moments of discomfort. Another reason we must trust Allah is because His care is constant. He never forgets, never overlooks, never abandons. He has been managing the affairs of the heavens and the earth long before you were born. The same Lord who provided for you yesterday, guided you through your darkest days, and protected you from unseen harm. Will He not continue to do so today and tomorrow? If you think about it, there are countless blessings in your life that came without you asking. Your breath, your safety, your family, your faith. Doesn't that prove His mercy is far beyond what we can measure? Trusting Allah becomes easier when you reflect on how He has carried you through every storm before. Each hardship you survived was not because you were strong, but because He was merciful. So remind yourself, if He took care of me in the past, He will take care of me again. The one who knows the unseen can never make a mistake in your destiny. Trust Him, for His knowledge is infinite, His wisdom flawless, and His mercy everlasting. Building true trust in Allah doesn't happen overnight. It develops through a deep and consistent connection with Him. You cannot trust someone you don't know, and the same applies to your relationship with the Almighty. To truly rely on Allah, you need to know Him, His names, His attributes, His promises, and His mercy. The more you learn about who Allah is, the more naturally your heart begins to depend on Him. When you realize that He is Ar-Rahman, the most merciful, Al-Hakim, the most wise, and Al-Wakil, the best disposer of affairs, you understand that trusting Him is not a blind leap of faith but a deeply conscious act of love and certainty. One of the strongest ways to build trust is through prayer. When you stand before Allah and speak to Him sincerely, not just repeating words but pouring your heart out, you begin to feel His closeness. You realize that He listens to every whisper, every tear, and every sigh, even when the world doesn't. Every time you raise your hands and call upon Him, you're not just asking, you're building a relationship. You're saying, Ya Allah, I depend on You. I know You can do what I cannot. The more you talk to Him, the stronger your faith grows. That communication nurtures trust because it constantly reminds your heart that no matter how difficult life gets, Allah is still in control. Another way to strengthen trust is by reflecting on the Quran. It is full of stories of those who trusted Allah and were never disappointed. Think of Prophet Ibrahim when he was thrown into the fire. His trust made the fire cool. Think of Prophet Musa when he stood before the sea. His trust made the sea split. Think of Prophet Yunus in the belly of the whale. His trust brought him back to the shore. These stories aren't just history. They are timeless reminders that when you put your full trust in Allah, He will open a way out from where you could never imagine. Building trust also requires remembrance. When your heart is constantly remembering Allah, saying Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, and La ilaha illallah, it becomes soft, calm, and content. Tika strengthens the soul. It keeps your focus on the one who controls everything, rather than on the temporary problems of this world. Every remembrance is a small seed of faith planted in the heart. Over time, those seeds grow into unshakable trust. Finally, trust grows through experience. Each time you go through something painful and come out stronger, your faith deepens. You look back and realize that even when things didn't go as you planned, they went exactly as Allah planned, and His plan was better. The more you see His mercy in your life, the more you surrender to His will. So, trust is not built by chance, it's built by connection, through prayer, remembrance, reflection, and patience until your heart learns to say, whatever my Lord chooses for me, I am content with it. Trusting Allah during ease is simple. It's when everything is falling into place, when the blessings are visible and life feels smooth. But the real measure of faith is when things don't go your way, when doors close, when prayers seem unanswered, when you feel stuck in darkness and confusion. That is when trusting Allah becomes a true act of worship. It's easy to say, I have faith when life is comfortable, but the test of real faith comes when you are pushed to your limits, when you have no one left to turn to except Him. It's in those moments that your heart either panics or surrenders. The believer learns to surrender. You whisper to yourself, I don't understand what's happening, but I know my Lord does. That is the beginning of peace amidst pain. When everything around you is uncertain, remind yourself that Allah is never uncertain. He has already written your story perfectly, with wisdom and mercy woven into every chapter. You might be in a storm today, but that storm is not meant to drown you. It's meant to cleanse you, to prepare you for what's coming next. Every difficulty carries a hidden lesson, every delay a hidden mercy. Sometimes Allah withholds something from you not because you don't deserve it, but because He knows it will harm you or arrive at the wrong time. When your heart truly trusts this, it stops questioning and starts accepting. There are times when trusting Allah means moving forward without seeing the path clearly. It means taking one step at a time, guided only by faith. Just like Prophet Musa stood before the sea with his people. An impossible situation in front of him and an army behind him, but he trusted Allah and struck the sea as he was commanded. That trust turned an impossible moment into a miracle. In our lives, we all face our own seas, moments that seem impossible to overcome. But if we trust Allah completely, He will part the way for us too, in ways we could never imagine. True trust also shines in moments of loss. When someone dear leaves your life, when your plans collapse, or when the world feels heavy on your shoulders, trusting Allah means saying, my Lord never makes a mistake. It means believing that your tears are seen, your patience is recorded, and your reward is being prepared. Sometimes Allah breaks your heart to open it wider for His mercy. Sometimes He closes one door to push you towards something greater. The pain you feel today might be the reason you find purpose tomorrow. So, when should you trust Allah? Always, but especially when it hurts, when you don't understand, when everything seems uncertain. Because that is when faith becomes real. It's in those quiet, broken moments that trust transforms into strength. When the believer says, I don't know what the future holds, but I know who holds my future. That is the moment of true surrender and true peace. The one who places complete trust in Allah discovers a kind of peace that no wealth, position, or person can ever provide. It is a serenity that flows from the heart of faith, a calm that says, even if the world turns upside down, my Lord is still with me. When you truly trust Allah, you stop depending on people for validation, you stop fearing the future, and you stop drowning in worry over things beyond your control. You begin to understand that whatever Allah decrees for you will never miss you, and whatever is not meant for you will never reach you. That realization alone brings freedom. It frees your mind from anxiety and your heart from disappointment. The reward of trusting Allah is not just in the blessings that come after hardship, but also in the strength you gain during the hardship. When you rely on Allah, you walk through pain differently. You cry, yes, but your tears carry hope. You struggle, but your heart remains soft. You wait, but your soul feels alive with faith. Allah places light in the hearts of those who trust Him, a light that guides them through every trial, reminding them that nothing in this world happens without purpose. Every delay, every loss, every unanswered prayer is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and closer to your Creator. When you look at life through the lens of trust, you begin to see Allah's mercy in every situation. Sometimes He answers your prayer immediately. Other times He withholds because He wants to give you something greater than what you asked for. Sometimes He gives you what you want to show you it wasn't what you needed. And sometimes He keeps you waiting because He loves hearing your voice calling upon Him. The believer who trusts Allah knows that there is goodness in every decree. Even pain has purpose when you trust the one who sent it. The ultimate reward of trust is tranquility, a heart that is unshaken by worldly ups and downs. Such a person doesn't lose themselves in stress or comparison because they know their sustenance, their success, and their destiny are already written by the Most Wise. They live with a quiet confidence, knowing that their efforts are seen by Allah and their patience will never go unrewarded. The Prophet said that if you place your trust in Allah as you should, He will provide for you just as He provides for the birds. They leave their nests hungry and return full. That is the kind of trust that invites divine care and sustenance. In the end, those who truly trust Allah live a life of gratitude and contentment. Even when life tests them, they find peace because they know the one who tests them loves them most. They understand that every turn of destiny is a step toward what Allah has prepared. So the greatest reward of trust is not just what you receive, but who you become, a believer whose heart beats with unshakable peace, knowing that their Lord never fails. Trusting Allah teaches you patience, gratitude, and humility in ways nothing else can. It transforms how you see the world and how you deal with every situation that comes your way. When you place your affairs in Allah's hands, you begin to realize that nothing happens by coincidence. Every joy, every delay, every heartbreak, and every success is part of a divine design that was written long before you were born. This understanding changes how you react to life. You stop blaming others, you stop questioning, why me? And you start saying, Alhamdulillah, my Lord knows best. That shift in mindset is not small. It's a spiritual awakening. It's the moment when your heart learns to rest in the knowledge that Allah is the best of planners. Trusting Allah doesn't mean your life will be free from pain. It means you will face pain with faith. You will still cry, but you'll cry with hope. You'll still face setbacks, but you'll stand up stronger. Every trial becomes a bridge that takes you closer to Allah. You start to see your hardships as opportunities to grow, to reflect, and to strengthen your connection with your Creator. When something goes wrong, instead of losing yourself in despair, you pause and remind your heart, there must be a reason behind this, even if I cannot see it now. This level of trust doesn't remove your emotions. It refines them. You learn to feel deeply but still remain calm inside because your soul is anchored in divine wisdom. Another beauty of trusting Allah is that it brings clarity. When you trust Him completely, you stop overthinking the past and worrying about the future. You start living in the present moment with contentment, doing your best and leaving the rest to Him. You realize that what is written for you will come to you even if the whole world tries to stop it. And what is not written for you will never be yours no matter how hard you chase it. That realization saves you from so much anxiety and disappointment. It allows you to breathe, to let go, and to find peace in surrender. When you trust Allah, your heart becomes light. You no longer carry the weight of fear or the burden of control. You walk through life with calm confidence, knowing that Allah's timing is perfect. Even when others doubt, you remain hopeful because your faith is not in the situation, but in the one who controls it. That is the secret of inner peace, knowing that the one who created your heart will never allow it to break without a purpose. In the end, trusting Allah is not just a belief, it's a way of life. It shapes how you love, how you wait, and how you move forward. It fills your heart with serenity even when storms surround you. Because once your trust in Allah is complete, fear fades, doubts disappear, and life becomes a journey of peace guided by divine wisdom.